different player. Who knows? In January, if you slap a little Eddie Nketiah and some peas, something might happen. But yeah, man, for what it's worth, you know, I can't see it, man. But yeah, allegedly Arsenal to go back in for him in Jan. That's that. Make sure we're hitting those like buttons, please, people. And make sure, like I said, don't forget, we're going live at 2 p.m. on my Twitch page as well. So yeah, man, that's that. Couple other stuff to speak about in a second, people. But I miss you guys. We're at 254. We're almost at 300, man. So yeah, what are we saying, man? Who are we going to play centre mid against Norwich? We literally only have Sambi available if Elneny goes to Turkey. I can't lie. Watching the game yesterday, in relation to Brentford, I don't know if Eddie. I don't know if Elneny has a legit injury or if they took him off, because he did look like he was struggling, like he was playing, and then I don't know what happened to him, but he was kind of limbering around the pitch, and then he went down, and then obviously Charlie came on. So I don't know if it's a thing where he ain't played too much football, he's got in cramp. I don't know if it's a legit injury. I don't know if they're taking him off in relation to selling him. You know, I don't think we're gonna sell Elneny, because we always hear these Turkish teams are onto him and whatnot. And the last I heard is that one of these Turkish teams wanted him yesterday, but yesterday was the deadline for them to register him in Europe. Obviously, I still hope he goes, because it gets someone off the thingies. But I think at this moment, you might as well just keep him and run down the deal, just in terms of a body, because we're down to our bare bones. I'd imagine indirectly, Charlie Patino is. I'm not saying he's gonna be thrown in, but in a similar way to Miguel Aziz is now gone out on loan, right? So if something happens, Patino might have to get a look in and things like that. But in terms of legit options from now until January, at least, you've got Partey, who's nursing an injury and probably nurse a couple more. You've obviously got Lokonga. You know, you got Xhaka, bro. We're down to our bare bones. I'll be real, we're down to our bare bones. You're probably looking at an Odegaard to play in that role. Maitland-Niles, of course. You've got Odegaard to play there as well. You know, Smith Rowe could play as an 8. You're probably looking to do that. So might as well, you know. You might as well just thingy, man. Just let Elneny run down his deal, or at least sell him in January when we look a bit better. For me, with Charlie, I would love him to play, but you don't need to slow your horses. He's not ready for Premier League football. He's ready to train with the team, get up to speed. Like even against Brentford, he grew into the game. You know, he didn't play as good as the hype suggests. He had a good game, but you know me, I like the realness. He had a very good game. He grew in confidence. He took a lot of clamps from them, and he got back up. You know, he played some lovely passes, but there was a lot of passes that were off. He still needs to get to the speed of it. And I'm not criticizing him. He's a young man. He's never been thrown into that. I like the way he equipped himself. Technically, he's ready. It's all about speed or thought now. Physically, there's a lot of development to play, but there could be an opportunity for him this season, in my opinion. You know, obviously at 23's level, he's going to get a lot of football because Miguel Aziz has gone on loan to Portsmouth. So there's a bubble there to be filled. You know, Charlie's a baller, innit? And I do think he'll be involved in the first team bench at some point in the league this season. But again, I don't know that to be true. Generally, our midfield options look a bit shaky, though, if I'm honest with you. Elneny to Turkey, Charlie Patino. Well, where's the Elneny to Turkey thing as well, man? For what it's worth, people, again, he's being linked with return to Besiktas. He's been linked with Galatasaray, Besiktas. Every day, I'm sure Fenerbahce early in the market. Every day there's a number of clubs. And I don't know if they're going to get it done because, you know, they've got Pjanic on a loan. You know, how'd you go from Juventus to Barca to Besiktas with respect in a matter of, you know, a year? But fair play. It's a bit like what's the gaffer? Rafa Benitez. Who did he go for? I swear he went from Real Madrid to Newcastle in a matter of a month. Sorry, that's a madness. But for what it's worth, Besiktas started negotiations for Elneny. Obviously, this is Google Translate. Allegedly, you know, Besiktas and Gala, and there was a Premier League team that was interested, but them ones have gone. Black and white people stepped on the gas in the transfers to report to the UEFA list. So I think it means the black and white of Besiktas. Clearly, Google Translate's moving mad. The Black Eagle begins talks with Arsenal for Elneny. So again, I think that's as far as it goes, really. But type in Elneny and see what's going on here. I wouldn't even advocate selling Elneny at this point because we're down to our bare bones, people. We're down to our bare bones. A better report, as you lot can see here. He can play in midfield. That's why I said his name. But anyways, as you lot can see here, probably a better article. Arsenal made Mohamed Elneny transfer offer, but by Besiktas, but face race against time to complete deal, basically, people. So let's, we could be depleted even more. Apparently, the Turkish side have registered a permanent interest in the Egyptian midfielder after he obviously spent a season there on loan. After excelling in the Turkish capital, excelled so much they didn't make an offer to take him permanently. Fair play, you lot do your thing. Besiktas, after excelling in the Turkish capital, it would spell a sparkling return for a player who was adored by, the faithful of the club. Besiktas Chiefs would need a deal for the Egyptian midfielder wrapped up by Thursday night, which was yesterday. Arsenal are unable to sign anyone to replace him, as you know. So yeah, it's WAS people. They're not going to get him, are they? Really, they can't obtain the individual. As you lot know, we've also been linked with Serge Aurier. Now, apparently, his people have offered him to Arsenal. We all remember when he was holding an Arsenal shirt. For me, I don't think it makes sense to bring Serge Aurier. We need defenders who can defend. He's a madman in it, so there's no point in that regards. But it would be funny. But allegedly, for what it's worth, he's considering leaving. He's considering, after obviously playing for a toilet seat, he wants to play for Arsenal. Serge Aurier would consider following the controversial path from Tottenham to join North London rivals Arsenal after terminating his contract with the club. The Ivorian defender is searching for a new club after becoming a free agent. Obviously, his contract was terminated, which is a theme we're going to see. Apparently, the 28-year-old, who we first heard was so keen to go back to PSG, where that didn't bang, he's now reportedly keen to stay in England, and Arsenal are one of a number of clubs that have been notified of his intentions. Apparently Tottenham had exhausted all avenues in attempting to help Aurier secure a move away from the club. Apparently they've offered him for time, many windows. He's tried to leave for about 2 years, and they've offered him every window. The fullback had received offers from France, Russia, and Turkey, but a move failed to materialize, which would have seen Spurs pick up a fee, so no one was prepared to pay for him. But with no offers tempting enough for the club or the player, Aurier opted to mutually end his agreement with the club. Aurier, who signed a 5-year deal when joining for 23 million in 2017, had already informed the club of his intention to leave for free at the end of the campaign. So yeah, man, shout out to him, really. Wish him the best for his future. Anything's better than going there. So it is what it is, man. I don't think we would go for him. We've got Maitland-Niles who can have an opportunity. You've technically got Cedric at least for 3 more years. He was linked with Fenerbahce, but he's apparently said he doesn't want to join. So again, you've got Callum Chambers, you've got Cedric, you have got Tavares who can play there. You've got you've brought in TT, you've got a bunch of players who can fill in a job there. So it would surprise me, if we did do that, really and truly. Inter Milan allegedly want Leno as well. Let's just wrap this all up into this one here, people. They want Leno. So let's see what's going on there. Where is it? Clip that. Here we go. And I think they're getting Onana, but for what it's worth, Ajax's Onana and Arsenal's Leno on Inter's list of Handanovic replacements. Good keeper. Inter are weighing up their options for a long-term replacement for first-choice keeper Semir Handanovic this summer, with Onana and Bird Leno among the possibilities. Now, unless Onana snakes it, I can't see why he wouldn't sign for them. 700 of you locked in. Please hit that like button. This is according to today's print edition of the Turin-based paper Tutto Sport. I mean, they always say a bag of nonsense. Who report that Inter are not likely to stay on with the Slovenian number 1 in the starting spot, even if he extends his contract next summer, and that the search for his successor is well underway. As we know, he's 37. He's made a bag of errors in recent years. And yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy with him as well, people. They don't mind him being a number 2, but skipping to the relevant parts, a first choice option will be sought with Onana, who will be available on a free when his contract expires next summer, and Leno, 2 of their main considerations. Now, for me, you go for someone that's free. There's not really much in it between Onana and Leno. Let's be real. Onana could be free. You probably have to give him a decent signing on fee and wages, but then you're going to have to negotiate for Arsenal. For what it's worth, Leno, shout out to you for playing for Germany later. It's something that you probably should consider, if I'm completely honest. So that's that in relation to Leno. And I've said it already. I think we're going to need to look for a keeper. It's up to Arsenal and Ramsdale whether Ramsdale's going to be that first choice. So we look for a number 2, or you get me, we look for another number 1. Between January and next season, we just had the Athletic article. So we're looking for allegedly a striker, and we should be looking for a centre mid, right? You're going to need a goalie. You're going to need them minimum, really. who you're going to need us. Yeah, so that we should already know what targets we have. So I hope we are looking for a keeper. And I'd like to imagine the club know Leno is keeping it moving beyond this season. He probably just going to give us all he can this year.